We all remember our childhood when the world was a place chock full of mysteries and wonders. But what if I told you that in this world there are even more mind-blowing stories hidden than we could ever imagine? Stories where regular teens hide incredible secrets and step up to defend the secret magical realm. Picture this: the Big Apple, New York City. Its streets are bustling with life. But what if I told you that beneath this breathtaking beauty lies yet another world? A world where magical creatures fight for their existence. Today, we're embarking on a journey into this realm, where a legend of a young hero awaits. A hero you knew about because he was an American dragon. Yep, you got it right. I'm talking about American dragon Jake Long. This show captivated millions of kids and teens back in the early 2000s. This Disney Channel animated series won the hearts of millions of viewers. And today we're going to tell you the story of this extraordinary teen who became the protector of the magical world. Let's immerse ourselves in this fantastic world together. So, get ready to dive into an exciting journey full of secrets, friendship, and incredible transformation. Because we're going to cover beloved series American Dragon Jake Long from beginning to end in great detail. Let's kick off our plunge. The show spans 2 seasons with a total 52 episodes. Let's start with the big question: what amazing secrets lie in Jake Long's family? Imagine finding out at the age 13 that you have dragon blood running through your veins. What will you do? That's precisely what happened to Jake. He discovered his incredible heritage, which allows him to transform into a mighty dragon. This ability brought him not only moments of awe, but also immense responsibility for the safety of the magical world of New York. How did he learn to use this power? What challenges and adventures await him in his new form? And what does this remarkable revelation mean for him and his family? Let's answer those questions in this video. Jake's task is to protect the hidden supernatural world inhabited by magical beings from various threats. Demons, evil magical creatures, and other supernatural entities meet in his path. How will he handle this incredible mission? Let's start the story from the first episode of the first season. In the first episode, Jake begins his training to become a dragon-shaped protector under the guidance of his wise mentor, his grandpa Lao Shi. Jake's training under his grandpa was anything but ordinary. It included bizarre tasks such as using dragon tongue to clean toilets. But here's the question: how could these unconventional lessons prepare Jake for his fateful role? However, Jake's fate takes an unexpected turn when his grandpa is kidnapped by Huntsman, who is an Hunt's clan of malicious individuals seeking to conquer the magical world. Well, Jake's toilet cleaning skills prove to be quite handy when he embarks on a mission to rescue his grandpa from the clutches of the Hunt's clan. He tackles this task and saves the day much sooner than expected. In another episode, we see that the fall dance is approaching, and Jake was looking for the perfect partner to impress his crush Rose. Desperate, Jake turns to his trusty friend Food Dog for help. A Food Dog decides to show the street where some magical creatures live. There, Jake meets Jasmine and invites her to the dance. But what he doesn't know is her dark secret. She transforms into a monster at midnight and hunts for souls. How does this impact the event at the fall dance? Jasmine goes through a major transformation and starts snatching souls, causing chaos at the dance. This puts Jake in a tough spot and he's forced to square off against her in dragon form. However, after this showdown, unexpected consequences leave Jake accidentally swapping the soul of his friends, Trixie and Spot. How's he gonna handle this tricky situation, and can he get their bodies back? With his newfound dragon powers, Jake manages to tame this dangerous monster, returning its stolen soul to its rightful owner. The pair saved, and even better, Rose regrets not coming with Jake to the bash, and from then on, she starts showing interest in him. In one of the episodes, Professor Rosewood finds himself in a sticky situation when he attempts to steal a trophy where it's a creepy genie. Jake decides to return the trophy, leading to a talent contest where he, Spot, and Trixie end up competing for it. What weird and funny moments go down during the contest. The sudden release of the genie from Spot's head forces Jake to turn into the American dragon to take him on. However, it's Spot who manages to seal the genie back in the head. While Spot wins the contest, the initial rivalry between him and Jake gives way to reconciliation. And start from this episode, Professor Rodwood becomes suspicious and starts looking for evidence of existence of magical creatures. In another part of the story, Jake's younger sister loses her first baby tooth. And the whole family is thrilled because in the magical world, a dragon tooth is highly prized. It fetches a reward from the Tooth Fairy. But trouble brews when the Tooth Fairy gets kidnapped. The kidnapper aims to snag the dragon tooth for himself. He assembles an army of tooth monsters and snatch Haley. Eventually, Jake, his grandpa, and the Tooth Fairy manage to rescue her. In another episode, Jake faces a challenging ordeal, the Dragon Council. The council decides to subject Jake to trial to test his worthiness. The three aspects of the trials, fire, wisdom, and the ability to fly, put him through the serious tests. Has Jake passed these tests? Jake failed the first trial, but surprisingly he breezed through the second trial, which is about wisdom. During the final trial, his compassion and desire to save a fellow dragon from the Dark Dragon earns him extra points from the council, ultimately leading to his success. However, the revelation of the spy within the Dragon Council, Counselor Chang, and the return of Dark Dragon hint an impending threat in the magical dragon world, and they realize that the Dark Dragon story is far from over. In another episode, Jake faces a challenge: protect their Oracle twins, and they have amazing prophetic abilities that can predict the outcome of the battle with ogres. But what happens when their visions spiral out of control? The twins start predicting not only the battle outcomes, but also the future of Jake and his friends. They are uncontrollable and always spot on visions to lead to the chaos and unexpected consequences for the heroes. Jake learns to appreciate the different viewpoints of the optimist Kara and the cautious Sarah. Goblins try to abduct the twins, and Jake has to use their predictions to thwart this threat and ensure their safety. At the end of the episode, one of the twins hints a mysterious secret about Rose. She lifts the veil of secrecy and prompts Jake to seek the truth. In winter, Jake and Rose go on their first date. In Central Park, they start building a snowman. However, Jake's impulses to use his dragon fire lead to unexpected consequences. Feelings and thoughts turn inside Jake when he realizes that his dragon essence affects their relationship. Later, Jake and his friends embark on a school ski trip. But Trixie and Spot start suspecting that Rose is hiding something bigger. Tensions rise during the school ski trip, as Jake is convinced that Rose is Hunt Girl, even though she seems to be the opposite personality from Hunt Girl. Tension reaches its peak when Jake saves Rose from an avalanche caused by her actions. This episode is packed with drama, intrigue, and moments that will have you be on the edge of your seat. After the tragic events, Jake realizes he can't square his feelings for Rose with her true identity. After that, he decides to break up with her, as he can't reconcile his emotions with the knowledge of her true essence. From that moment, Jake starts keeping his distance from Rose. Later one day, Budok decides to spill one of his secrets. It all started when Jake decides to find out one of his grandpa's old hiding ways. Grandpa always seems wise and clever, but it turns out he is hiding a very important story. In the past, he was arrogant even more than Jake himself. But what changed his fate? It turned out everything has changed after his meeting with the Dark Dragon. This mighty dragon turned Grandpa's life upside down, and he decides to start the Dark Dragon, leaving his grandson in the dark. Later, Jake realizes that Grandpa went into the sewer with one of the Dragon Council members who might be working for Dark Dragon. Jake senses it might be a trap and gathers all his allies, whom he's helped by this point. Together, they had to confront the Dark Dragon. Despite his weakness, Jake isn't alone. His friends are always by his side, and together they manage to defeat the Dark Dragon. But that's just one part of the story. Let's move on to Rose, a young girl who was undergoing training to become a dragon hunter. However, Jake falls into a trap and Rose nearly kills him. But at the last moment, Jake turns into a human and Rose helps him escape. She has only one test left to kill her first dragon, aka Jake. That's why the Hunt clan kidnapped Jake and 5 other magical beings. Together, they planned their escape. Jake managed to swipe the keys from Rose and make the run for it with his new magical friends. Being the only dragon in the group, he takes the role of the leader and plans an attack on all the hunters. And that's how the last episode of the first season ends. After that, Rose disappeared and Jake had a pretty tough time dealing with it. Honestly, he never really got over it. And that's because Jake is head over feels in love with Rose, but she vanished from school and left him all alone. So one day Jake has this weird dream. Rose warns him about the ominous plan of the Hunt clan and tells Jake to stop them. She also cautions him not to try helping her, as she is a lost cause. Jake decides to lend a hand to Rose and rescue her. But to do that, he needs a special ingredient, one that can only be snagged from a magical monster that pops into this world for a brief window. Jake wasted no time and goes for it. But here's the kicker. Food Dog and Jake's friends accidentally mix up the ingredients, and instead of potion, they get cupcakes that turns people into bizarre monsters. Jake boldly takes the monsters to save the day and set things right. In the end, Jake comes to realize that he needs to move forward after Rose, understanding that his destiny lies in protecting magical beings and fulfilling his role as a dragon. Karen and Sarah tip Jake and his friends off about some suspicious activities by the Hunt clans, which prompts them to embark on a secret mission, infiltrating the Hunt clan's secret trading school undercover. You know, this place feels more like a school than Hunter's base. Jake and Spot attend various classes, but what do they discover there? Rose has become an instructor, revealing information about dragons' vulnerabilities. Ultimately, Jake and Spot gain popularity among the Hunt clan students, and find out that Rose doesn't exactly align with the Hunt clan's objectives. She realizes that Jake and his friend have infiltrated the base and tries to help them escape, but Jake insists not leaving without Rose. As a result, Jake and Rose get caught by the Hunt clans. Huntman orders a deadly showdown between Dragon Jake and Rose. He wants to separate them, but Jake is ready to pull a stunning move. Before that, though, he decides to kiss Rose for the first time. During the fighting, Jake and Rose go head-to-head and Rose emerges as the winner. Everyone thinks Jake is gone for good, but it's all part of the grand plan to dupe the hunters and get back to his friends. Jake and his friends manage to escape, but Rose decided to stay with the hunters. However, since then she secretly helps Jake because she now understands that magical creatures are just as good as humans. But the hunters start keeping a close eye on her, so she tries to keep her distance from Jake, worried about his safety. Moving on in the plot, we find out that Jake goes through a tough transformation during his 10-year dragon shedding period, as his appearance becomes far from appealing. His obsession with his looks becomes a hindrance in dealing with a new threat. Jake must help Rose start the hunter's plan, but he is afraid she'll see his mangled appearance. However, she accepts him completely, and together they hatch a cunning plan to deceive the hunters. Disappointments hunt him not only in his love life, but also in his destiny. One day, Jake learns that his sister Haley has started dragon training and feels some jealousy. This leads to a misunderstanding between brother and sister, and Jake starts a war of pranks to disrupt Haley's photoshoot for Dragon's Giggle magazine. Things get serious when hobgoblins abduct Haley, and Jake must come to her rescue. Ultimately, Haley's maturity and Jake's understanding of his unique strengths help reconcile the siblings. In this tale, we've seen the importance of accepting ourselves and our loved ones as they are, and how family values can help overcome difficulties. In another episode, we get the lowdown that Hunt clan are looking for a magical crystal skull that granting fulfill a single unchangeable wish. Rose takes on the role of a spy, helping Jake collect most of these skulls. It leads to some seriously gnarly consequences for the hunters. However, the huntsman catches wind of Rose's betrayal and shows her a video of her parents. He lays down an ultimatum: return to the Hunt clan and betray Jake, or say goodbye to her parents. Rose Rose's inner conflict kicks into high gear. With Rose's assistance, the huntsman returns all the lost magical crystal skulls. Later on, Jake and Rose cross paths, and it's showdown time. This face-off, Rose comes out on top, only because Jake refused to take her out, leaving the huntsman with the skulls and his wish. But what's in store next? However, in the nick of time, Rose double-crosses the huntsman once more and wishes for the wipe the entire Hans clan out, which means she'll go down with them. But Jake couldn't swallow this news, and in desperation, he makes a wish for Rose to no longer be a part of the Hans clan. Without seeing immediate result for his wish, Jake shatters the magical crystal skulls. But when he bumps into Rose again, he realizes she remembers nothing about their past adventures or him. She is all set to start a new life and move to Hong Kong. The Long family heads to Hong Kong under the guise of a vacation, but their real goal is to visit the first dragon temple. Jake hopes to reunite with Rose, who relocated there with her family. Meanwhile, the Dark Dragon plans to take out Jake, sending Chen to kidnap Grandpa and set a trap for Jake. Jake seeks Rose's help to rescue his grandpa, but she doesn't remember him and calls the cops. Jake is forced to go to extremes and poison the dragons to save his grandpa. When every dragon plucks down the poison, the Dark Dragon reveals his true identity. But instead of giving them poison, Jake swaps it with the magical tea. Thus, the good guys get the upper hand in the fight against the Dark Dragon. At the most difficult moment we've been weakened, Rose comes to the rescue. Being an experienced dragon hunter, her help was crucial to defeating the Dark Dragon. Afterward, Jake is curious about how she managed to remember everything. Turns out, Rose found a photo of herself and Jake at her place, triggering a flood of memories. The conflict resolution strengthens Jake and Rose's relationship, symbolized by a passionate kiss that plays a pivotal role in restoring Rose's memories. Back in their hotel room, Jake and his father share a touching moment where his father fully accepts the magical reality of his family and expresses his unwavering support. And that's how the adventures of American Dragon Jake Long wrap up. Was it one of your favorite cartoons when you were a kid? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed our video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Toonstore for more red adventures like this. Thanks for watching and catch you in the next video.